They say life is about seizing opportunities, right? Well, I'm seizing mine right now, and I have a message for World Wrestling Entertainment. Specifically, the top brass of this company, the higher-ups, the powers that be, whatever you want to call them, the people who supposedly believe in the idea of listening to their fans and giving them what they want, listening to the audience's reactions and capitalizing on said reactions. And I want to bring attention to that because for the last 4 or 5 months, every time my music has hit the speakers, y'all gave me a pretty big pop. Every time I've had this microphone in my hand and let it on fire, y'all have held on to every word I've had to say. And every time I've left it all in this ring with the match of the night or match of the year contender, y'all have given me a standing ovation. So from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say that I appreciate that and I thank y'all for that. But you know who doesn't appreciate that? And who isn't thankful for that? Them. Because even with the evidence right before their eyes, they still refuse to acknowledge the connection that I've built with y'all and the respect I've earned from y'all. So I'm constantly out on all this, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah. You know what we call that in my book? Sorry, kids. What we call that bullshit. And the truth is, they are still hung up on the idea that the face of the company has to be at least 6 feet tall, at least 250 pounds, have movie star good looks, and be covered in baby oil like it's a certain type of party around here. But I didn't need any of that to be interesting, to be compelling, or to be relevant. If I did, that would make me fake, and I'm very much keen on being real, authentic, true to who I am. And what is real, what is authentic, and what is true to who I am is the fact that I have a charismatic presence that can no longer be denied or ignored. Hell, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to being a top guy around here, I was capable of that #1 spot before I walked through the door. And I became undeniable the moment I put pen to paper on my contract. But even with that belief in my mind and in my heart, I was still humble enough to leave my ego aside and go to some of the top minds that ever know this business so I could pick their brains. Ask for advice. Ask questions. Hey, how can I help around here? Hey, how can I assist in elevating this company? What could I do to improve the quality of this product? You know what they told me? Don't worry about that, man. Just make sure your promos are good. Make sure your wrestling's good. Yada, yada, yada. Bide your time. Do as you're told. And eventually your moment will come. You know, a whole bunch of corporate propaganda BS that they try to pass off as sound advice. Because then they take these 6-foot-something, 250-plus-pound Johnny ain't done shits off the street, teach them every in and out of this industry, all the while holding their hands like they're kindergartners on a field trip, and they are still surprised with wide eyes and open mouths when their so-called chosen ones, after having all this time, money, and effort invested into making them appear capable of doing their jobs, and every ingredient for success at their disposal ain't cooked up jack piss, not enough worth paying attention to for more than 2 minutes. It ain't a surprise to me, though. And I know it ain't a surprise to y'all either. Because y'all and I, we see the same thing clear as day. Unlike me, they've got no passion, no soul, and no seasoning. They ain't here to be WWE superstars. They just want to be on TV. They want to be in front of all the bright lights and the cameras, walking the red carpets. They're here for the money and the fame. But when it comes to this microphone and this ring, they don't know their own assholes from hand grenades. And these are the same men who have the audacity to take shots at me from the shadows. Those shade at me on social media from behind a cell phone screen or a laptop screen. See, that's where they're comfortable. They all got Twitter fingers, but not one of them has trigger fingers. And they can take as many of these sneak distance shots at me as they want. But you give any of them the opportunity, with these lights on bright, you give any of them the opportunity to prove themselves to me. Be it physically or especially verbally, man to man, face to face. so they can stake their claim and shoot their shot? Oh Lord, pray for them. They ain't got a shot left in the dark to take against a world-class champ among world-class chumps.